Today I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit more about what we eat on the Atkins diet. Hi, my name is Lori, and this is Lori's Journey. I share with you my journey of doing the Atkins diet and try to help you along the way. Today I'm going to be talking about a few different categories. I've been reviewing this book called Nourishing Traditions by Sally Fallon. It's not specifically Atkins, but I did read this, and I just think it's really interesting, and I'm comparing it to what's on the Atkins diet list. So first of all, I'm actually going to start with some carbs. Sally says that there's a few carbohydrates that she recommends that we have. She does seem to be a little bit on the low carb side, so I do like that since that's what the Atkins diet is. But there are a few things that she says that you can have and possibly should have from time to time. So I'll go over that real quick. She says whole grains, specifically sprouted grains. She likes the idea of overnight soaking and to buy organic. She's not saying go buy a loaf of bread at the store. She's talking about getting your whole grains, like the actual grain, and soaking them, and to buy organic grains and to make things out of them. I have no experience with that, so I am not the person to be asking anything about that. But I just wanted to share with you what she's recommending. She says to never have any rice cakes or traditional cereal, that it's actually worse than pure sugar. Go figure. And you know, those things are not allowed on the Atkins diet or any low carb diet. So that is something to think about. She says that fresh fruit and veggies and fermented vegetables, that she thinks that those are good for you. So again, you know, those aren't bad to have on the Atkins diet. So, you know, sounds like they're pretty much in line. I'm looking on the Atkins website, and on their list for the foods that you can have on Atkins 20, they do not list any carbohydrates. So there's not really any options they recommend. However, she mentioned the fruits and vegetables, and they do have a very long, extensive list of that. So I'm not going to read everything off just because it would take so much time. I will leave a link down below for where you can go check this list out for yourself. Now I'm going to move on to the next thing. That is milk and milk products. She says to avoid processed cheeses, which I would agree with that. I think that more like, what's it called? Velveeta. You know, that's not even a real cheese. Right on the box it says cheese food. So that should clue you in right there. Her next thing is imported cheese. She says to look for milk or fresh milk, and raw milk products or cultured milk. You can go to realmilk.com for a raw milk listing if you want to have some raw milk in your area. And she says to look for pasture-fed cows and goats. As far as milk goes on the Atkins diet, they list cheese on their website, but they don't list milk itself. It says you can have Parmesan, goat cheese, blue cheeses, cheddar, Gouda, whole milk mozzarella, whipped cream cheese, Parmesan chunk, Swiss or feta cheese. And this is for phase 1. So that is all that the Atkins website recommends for this phase for milk. I'm going to also go ahead and talk a little bit about some other things. Right. I'm also going to go ahead and cover beverages today. Obviously, we should have water. Sally says to use a filtration system with high minerals. Put lemon or lime in your water. It helps digestion. She says to have lacto-fermented drinks made out of grain or fruit. It helps with constipation. It enhances digestion. And it rehydrates the loss of sweat while you're working. If you know someone that's an alcoholic, it says that they will be deficient in B vitamins, minerals, and glutamine, something like that. They need enzyme and nutrient-rich foods to replenish what they're losing with their alcohol drinking. Fermented drinks can help with cravings, actually. And it says to reduce carbs because the carbohydrates, apparently, it's kind of like sweets for us. But if you're an alcoholic, the carbs will make you crave your alcohol more, apparently. And as for beverages, she highly recommends having meat stocks or vegetable broths. So like chicken broth, beef broth, people drink that straight. I've never done it, but just have a lot of, if you don't like that, then make soup or make other recipes with the broth as an ingredient. I like to replace water with my homemade chicken broth, so that's something that you can always incorporate into your diet. And as far as the Atkins website goes, for beverages, they say you can have clear broth or bouillon. Make sure it's no sugars added. Club soda, heavy or light cream, decaffeinated or regular coffee and tea, diet soda. Be sure to note the carb count on that, though. Flavored seltzer. It's got to have no calories in it. Herb tea without added barley or fruit sugar added. Unflavored soy or almond milk. You don't want to get the flavored because it's going to add more carbs into it. And, of course, water again. At least 8 8-ounce glasses per day, including filtered water, mineral water, spring water, or tap water. And as far as the coffee and tea goes, it says 1 to 2 cups of caffeinated tea or coffee is allowed as desired and tolerated by each individual. So one person might be able to have a little bit more, next person might not be able to. Alright, so for condiments, you can have unrefined sea salt, raw vinegar, spices in moderation, fresh herbs, and naturally fermented soy sauce or fish sauce, according to Nourishing Traditions. Also, according to Nourishing Traditions, she talks about having unrefined sea salt, red sea salt. Meat broths can give you a good source of sodium, chloride, and iodine. Spices, herbs are preferable to spices, but always buy non-irradiated, I can't say that word. And watch out for MSG in any of that stuff. Choose organic so that you can avoid the MSG. And watch out for natural flavoring, because that can also be the people that put MSG in their ingredients, a lot of times apparently they use the words natural flavoring just to kind of hide that fact. Do your own research, because I'm not an expert on that, but I have read into it quite a bit. And of course, as always, making your own broth is better than the store-bought, but if you don't want to make your own broth, you can buy what's at the store. As far as the Atkins website goes, for herbs and spices, It says herbs and spices are a great way to enhance the flavor of your food. When shopping for dried or packaged herbs and spices, read the labels closely to make sure they contain no added sugar. They suggest basil, cayenne pepper, cilantro, dill, oregano, tarragon, parsley, chives, fresh or dehydrated, ginger, it says fresh grated, rosemary, sage, black pepper, and garlic. And then the last couple of things here for the Atkins website. It shows salad dressings. It says to read labels carefully. Any prepared salad dressing without added sugar and no more than 3 grams of net carbs per serving is acceptable on phase 1, or make your own. Sally does have recipes in her book to make your own salad dressings. I haven't done that yet, but I do want to experiment with doing that and see how it is. But yeah, they suggest red wine vinegar, Caesar, ranch, lemon juice, blue cheese, lime juice, balsamic vinegar, and creamy Italian. As for salad garnishes, they list crumbled bacon, hard-boiled eggs, sautéed mushrooms, sour cream, and grated cheese. Again, I'm not going to read off the whole entire list of the vegetables because there's so many of them, but it says that they are a high-fiber foundation for the Atkins way of eating. Aim for 12 to 15 net carbs from vegetables per day. It's equivalent to several cups depending on the net content of the variety you select. 1 cup of veggies is roughly the size of a baseball. Measure salad vegetables raw. And artificial sweeteners they have mentioned on the website. It says limit your sugar substitutes to no more than 3 packets a day. 1 packet equals 1 gram of net carbs. And it says you can have sucralose, saccharin, and stevia. Alright, so that's pretty much it for what I'm going to talk about with this book. Say one last time, I really recommend you read this. It's very educational. It may not be straight up Atkins, but she does, you can take out the carbs that she listed and you can learn a lot about the food you're eating, and it's just it was very interesting to me. I will tell you that I've been reading Dr. Atkins' original book, the Dr. Atkins Diet Revolution, and I found that really interesting. I'm going old school. I'm starting right now on being very minimalist on this because I think that will help me. And then as time goes on, I'll add a few more things here and there. But I'm just going to really try to start it out the way that Dr. Atkins intended it. And so next week I will have an update for you and share with you how I'm doing and things like that. So I hope this was helpful to you. Please let me know in the comments. Until next time, join the journey.